Do you feel that you always use your embossing folders the same way? Would you like to try something different and use them and create some different backgrounds? Today I'm going to show you 5 different ways that you can use your embossing folders. Hi and welcome. I'm Angela Palmer from Stamp with Angela. I'm based in Auckland, New Zealand, and I enjoy sharing paper crafting and inspiration and ideas to give you confidence in your paper crafting. So thank you for joining me today for my live. Sorry, it is a little bit later than normal. I've had huge technical issues, and it looks like we are only going to Facebook and not YouTube. And I'm hoping that for probably a lot of you, you'll be watching the recording because you won't be live because we're so much later. But I hope still that when you do get to watch today's video, that you'll learn some ideas and get some inspiration with your paper crafting. So let's get started and check out what I'm going to share with you today. All right, so here is the current catalog, the May to August catalog, and I've enjoyed using some of the in colors, and today I'm going to use a particular embossing folder from a suite. So this is the Valley in Bloom suite, and there's this very cool Floral Spray Embossing Folder, and that's going to be the embossing folder that I'm going to use. I'm going to show you different ways of using it. Now for this particular suite, we've got lots of greens, and sort of blues and sort of a yellowy color, and then a bit of Blackberry Bliss. But how I'm going to use today's cards is using the in colors. So let me show you the embossing folder, although it's a little bit hard to see. Let me put something behind it and see if we can kind of see the pattern. So you can see it's a big folder, and it's got this beautiful flower there with leaves and things in the background. You'll see it more when I actually get to emboss it and use it. So I can see that some people have joined us. Thank you so much for your patience. I've had huge technical issues today, and it's not going to YouTube at all. It's just here on Facebook. Let me know if the sound is okay, because we had issues with the start last time. I'm just going to check for comment. Whoever is watching now, appreciate your patience, because we're like over half an hour late because of the technical issues. But the good thing is I'm here now, and some of you, or probably a lot of you, will watch the recording, so at least you can watch the recording. So we're going to use this embossing folder from the Valley in Bloom. It's been out of stock for a while, back in stock, but don't delay, because embossing folders and things that are popular come back in stock and then they sell out quickly. So let me just show you the standard use of an embossing folder. So here we have, this is one of the in colors. Do you know which in color it is? This is Peaceful Pine, the green color. So I have used this just in its normal way. I've just used cardstock, embossed it, put it on a white card base, and added some ribbon and a sentiment and some embellishments. And that is basically often the standard way that we use our embossing folders. So now let me show you some different ways, and then I'll show you some finished cards. I'll explain what they are, and then we're going to make those together. Hi, Suzanne. I'm glad that you can hear us, or hear me rather. We've had a few technical issues today to get started, but I have managed to come on. All right. So if you're using some standard card, we can emboss it, and you'll see that it's very similar, but it's a bit darker. So this is with the embossed side, and I have put some, what do we call it? Some ink over the top, and I've just swiped that afterwards. I'm just trying to straighten up my camera a bit here. Not quite sure if that's better or not. Let's try again. Just trying to straighten things up. Okay, so that is on the embossed side. Then I have got it on the debossed side. So which do you prefer? I know which one I like. I think you can see the picture a lot better. Which do you like? So this is the debossed side. This is the embossed side. And then I've also used with the card the embossed side, but with a different color, and it looks quite stunning too. So here it is. So this is on the embossed side, but we've got a bit of white showing. And then the last one, I've tried two-tone cardstock. not sure that I kind of like it so much because the white tends to sort of stand out. And because of the white, I've gone for a white background and I've kept my sentiment white. So you can see slight variations with the sentiment as well. So here are my 5 different ways that I have used the embossing folder, and we're going to go through now fairly quickly and I'll show you how I've done it. So just a recap, just normal embossed, no changes to it, just the standard way of using an embossing folder. Then we've used the embossed side and we've inked it. Then we've used the debossed side and we've inked it. Then we have used the embossed side, but with a different color going over the top. And then the last one is using the embossed side, but we have used two-tone cardstock and we've sanded it. Okay. Now the sentiment, I've used this punch. It's one of my favorites. I still like to use it. It's the Labeled with Love. It is retiring and it is on sale. So if you haven't got it and you want to make the use of it, grab it while you can. You'll see with some of the sentiments, I have sponged a little bit just to be able to, you know, not make it quite as white and stark. This one I was okay with it because there was white coming through. And I couldn't quite decide if I liked the white base or whether I liked keeping it, you know, monochromatic in the green. I probably like the green, but, you know, up to you what you like. You could try both. So I'll tell you my 2 favorites, but then we'll make them all. So these are my 2 favorites, okay? The debossed side with the same color ink and then the embossed side with the white. So let's just quickly go through and I'll show you how we do these. So I'm going to do this set using Hydrangea Hue, which is one of the ink colors. So I've prepared all these ahead of time just to speed things up. And this one here, so this is standard cardstock. This one here is 2-tone, so you can see the lighter and the darker. And I could probably do this in 2 ways too, by going over. I might actually do it with the one piece on both. So there could actually be 6 ways if I think about it. I might do that first because I'm probably going to forget. So now after all this and my running around, I don't know if I have got my sanding block, which is not helpful, is it? So let's see if I can call on someone to help me and find a sanding block. Just trying to mute while I call them. Okay, so this is the possible 6th way of doing it, and I only just thought of this right now, so I don't know if it's going to work. We're going to try it on camera and see. So this is in cardstock, so it's lighter on the other side. So I'm actually going to put some ink on this here. So let's have a look and see how this looks. Okay, so that is 2-tone cardstock, and I have inked the debossed side, so you've got the lighter coming through and then the darker around. So that's an extra bonus that I've only just thought about now. Just looking for my sanding block, so I'm going to come back to that one. While we've got our ink pad out, let's try inking the embossed side and then the debossed side and see how we go. So this is standard cardstock. So we're going to go like that. Oh, look, that looks pretty cool. And then just swipe it across. That looks quite stunning. And then we are going to do the debossed side. So turn it over. Debossed is because the pattern part is going down. So this is the debossed side. That looks very cool. All right. Okay. So debossed, embossed. This one actually looks to me a little bit better. Maybe I should have gone over with more ink on that one. I didn't like that so much, but I actually think it looks quite nice in the Hydrangea Hue. All right. My family are trying to find my sanding block. It said it's not out there, so I'm hoping I've piled it up somewhere in here, but I cannot see it, so we might not be sanding. All right. So debossed, embossed. Now the other one, which is one of my favorites, is using the white ink. So this is the Craft. It's a pigment ink, so it does take longer to dry. So let's go over that. So it's a more of a subtle look, but it looks quite clever. So let's just gently go over. I'm just going to flip it around and come back this way. So I don't want too much, but it's just enough to bring out that pattern, but be quite subtle, if you know what I mean. Okay. I cannot find my sanding block. So we're just going to have to imagine this one. No, where's it gone? This one here. I go over it with a sanding block, and then the white parts come out like this. Okay. So can you see the different backgrounds? So that's using one embossing folder, and we have got several different ways. Which one did I do? Oh, this one here. Don't quite like that line there, but you just got to be a bit careful with your swiping. But it's got more of a contrast, I guess, or it's slightly different from this one. So what's your favorite? And I'll show you how I have put them together to make some cards. Trying to get the angle right. That's a bit better, I think. And I won't make them all, but just the basics to make the cards. So you could have a white background, or you could have the hydrangea hue background. So I've scored those in half, and let me know what you like. So that's when it is on the same color, and this is when it's on white. So for that one, you could kind of do either, because there's a bit of white there, and that looks quite nice. What do you reckon? White background or hydrangea hue? Gets a little bit more lost on that one. Should we do that? I'm looking for comments. So hi, thank you to those that have joined me and found my live. Yes, the reason you couldn't find me is because I was struggling to go live. It just wouldn't go live on YouTube, and then I had other issues with internet and things. So a few of you joined me live, so I really appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, so Joanne said we'll go for the white. So let's try that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some tape on the back for my ribbon. Then I'm going to find my hydrangea hue ribbon, and it'll be probably the one that isn't here. Not having a good day with all my lives and things. Everything that can go wrong is going wrong, but that's all right. We're here. Okay, so we're going to put a piece across like that and trim it. I'll do it at an angle so that the other piece will go nicely. So when you go to emboss it, you kind of need to decide where in your embossing folder you want to place your design. So I'll just show you what I mean. Like, you know, you could have the flower to the right hand side more, or you could bring it a bit more this way and have it more to the left, or you could have it in the center. So as you're putting your paper in, you need to decide kind of where you want to place it, because it is a big, large piece or design. All right, so let's put this across like so, and I'm just gonna bend it over so it's being held at the back like so. Then we are going to glue that onto a white base. Oh, a couple of you said white, so let's go with that, and we'll see how that looks. And I should crease it with my bone folder as well, but that is out where my glasses are. Now, I haven't made much of a border. It's very thin. Maybe I could make a slightly wider border by cutting the piece a little bit smaller. I'm just trying to line it up like so. Then what I did was, on my piece of cardstock, I'm actually using a happy birthday that I've had from years ago, but it nicely fits this punch. So we're going to go with it. Let's stamp a couple and punch them out. So if you stamp first, if it's not straight, like that's wonky, that's okay. We can put our punch in and then adjust our punch so it's nice and straight. So it is good being able to stamp first, and then we can center it and all that. Okay, so that will go like that. Now, the next question, do I keep it white, or do I sponge it, or do I use a bit of edging as well? So if I'm going to use some edging, I've got a scrap piece over here. What I'm going to do, and I've done this many a times before, so it's not a new technique, but you may or may not have seen it. Now I don't want to cut that with my ribbon scissors, so I'm going to cut it in half with my trimmer. It doesn't have to be fancy, but because I don't want to use my ribbon scissors. Then you can adhere this top and bottom, so it just frames it a little bit. Leave it white. Okay, I appreciate all the input today, particularly for your patience. We'll leave it white. Should I add the border, or you can't really see it anyway? Sponge it, edges. I've got different opinions here. I'll tell you what, I'll do one of each and then we'll hold it over and see. So leave white. The question is, do I add an edge to it, or do I just leave it plain? I don't know if you're going to see the edge much. Leave white. Okay, so let's punch out the other one, and I will sponge that. I'm not very happy with that happy birthday. It didn't turn out so well, so I'm going to stamp it again. That's better. I'll show you something else we could do with the edge, which I didn't. No, I'm not sure if it's going to work because of the curvy thing. I was going to say maybe rather than sponge the whole thing, I'll just sponge the edges a little bit. So we're kind of compromising. I don't like that. I wanted to kind of do it with my ink pad, but because of that curvy bit, that's not going to work. No, I don't like that edging. So we are going to sponge it all. I'm going to do one of each and you can see what you like. Sometimes you try something and sometimes it doesn't work. All right. Now the other thing we need to do with our card is we need to add a little bit more ribbon. So, I don't know if that's going to be long enough to tie a knot. I think like pressure on a video. Oh, we might be able to do it. Yay, there we go. So we could have it like that, or we could have it white. Now that you've seen it, what do you like? Or we could add edging on it. I'm not seeing any new comments. Oh, you say, oh, they're not coming up for me. Let me have a look. All right, so you can see there's lots of possibilities with this. So I'm just trying to see, leave it white. Okay, so maybe I'll tell you what, we'll leave it white, but I will add the edge so you can see how I do it. So I'm just put a bit of glue there, bit of glue there, put that on. You may not be able to see it, but put that on there like that. It just frames it a little bit. And let that dry for a second. Okay, so while we let that dry, let's do my next favorite, which is the deboss side. And you're going forward, I might actually trim that a little bit, make the border slightly bigger so you can kind of see it more. It's a little bit risky cutting it when you've already, it is risky and it's not working when you've already embossed it, because it can kind of fray a bit, which it has done. There we go. But we'll make it work. So that's a slightly bigger border. So that's sticking out. I know these are my ribbon scissors, but I want it to be straight. Cringe, cringe. Okay. All right. Oh, I haven't put my ribbon on. Who's done that before? So let's quickly put our ribbon on with the glue on the back. So let's go like this, which is the bottom, that way. So we're going to have a mixture of glue and tape. I'll put that on like so. Hopefully that's going to be straight. You see what I'm doing? Let's take a quick look. Quick save with that one. Oh, it's not sticking down. Is there no tape? There we go. It's not very sticky, probably because of the glue. All right. Definitely been an interesting day with today's live and the many challenges. And sometimes that happens with our crafting. It does not want to stick. Okay. I'll make it stick there. Aha. That will work. Right, let's stick that on. Sometimes we have that in our crafting. Sometimes our cards go amazingly and we're happy with them and they look great, and sometimes they just don't work. And sometimes, you know, you try something new and that's all good. Oh, Suzanne says she loves whatever I've done. Thank you. Need the encouragement at the moment. There we go. So this one, maybe we'll put that on like that. All right, so with the dimensionals, I do like to put it above and below rather than on there, because otherwise it tends to move around. So this is the back, believe it or not. That was my not so good one. So I'm going to put it top and bottom. So it definitely sticks to the card and not to the ribbon, or maybe partly ribbon, but definitely to the card. Okay, so we've got that one there like so. And then we need to finish it off. Now, did anyone notice last week I completely forgot embellishments on my card? It was after I turned off the video. I'm like, I didn't add any embellishments. So I did add them before I took photos, but you didn't get to see that. So we better make sure that we add some embellishments this time. So there we go. Okay, looking good. So with my embellishments, I've got the dots or the butterflies. Do I have them in blue? I've got lots of butterflies, well, not lots, but I've got some blue butterflies. As you can see, my blue has been very popular with my dots, and they've all gone. But I do have another packet. I think I need to do some more of the other colors. But this is my favorite colors, and I've made a few cards for people, therefore I've used lots of the dots. So this is quite busy, so I'm going to use the dots on this one, and just here in the sentiment like that. Because that's quite white, I'm going to use the butterflies on this one. So we're going to put one there and another one here. I don't know if you need 3 of these, and then a little one down here. How's that? All right. Okay. So these are my 2 favorite. I don't know what your favorite. Let's go this way. I don't know what your favorite way of the using the embossing folders are. So this is the white background. Just trying to straighten up. Don't like it when it's wonky. So this is the white on the embossed side, and this is the hydrangea hue ink on the debossed side. And then what do you like with the sentiment and things? Now, of course, you could use another punch or another die cut and just whatever sentiment and stamp you like. We have got the debossed. So what was that? So that was that the two-tone cardstock or normal cardstock? I can't remember now. I think that was two-tone cardstock, whereas this is normal cardstock. Aha. So that was the extra one I came up with. And then we've got the embossed side. And like I said, I like it more on this one than I did on that one. That didn't quite work for me, but maybe I just needed a bit more ink to make it more prominent. But I like that one. So, are you really confused? I'm glad Kim likes the look of these 2 as well. So I'm thinking that was actually the two-tone cardstock, and that was on the debossed side. So that's standard. And just that ink color has come out so much darker. And of course you can sand it, and if you sand it, you get that kind of look. All right. So let's do a quick recap of my first card, because I had the 5 for that. So we've got a normal standard card, which has disappeared. Normal standard card, do nothing to it, just the normal front, which is kind of like that. Then we can add some ink with on the top, on the embossed side, or like so, or we can add it on the debossed side, and you've got variations there. whether it's standard cardstock or two-tone cardstock. We can use two-tone cardstock and we can sand it, and it looks like that. Or one of my favorites is we can add some white ink to the emboss side. So there's 5, possibly 6 ways that you can use one embossing folder and you get lots of different ideas. Okay, so now it's not going to work on all embossing folders, some better than others, particularly this kind of embossing folder where it's an image, you've got flower, leaves, that kind of thing. If it's a pattern like a plaid or swirls and things, it's not quite going to work in the same way. Some things may, but this kind of image is really good. And we've done something similar before with the sunflowers that worked really well. Another one you could try, I haven't tried it yet, but it might work too, is the fern and flora. So that's a cool one as well. So if you like this embossing folder, don't delay. It's been out of stock for a while and it's back in stock now. It's on page 22 of the catalogue. It's this one here. And like I showed you before, it is quite a big embossing folder. So you can put your cardstock going, you know, vertical this way or this way. And you could even put, you know, 2 pieces in. But obviously we want the flower to be the main focus. So if you like something, don't delay. Get it while it's in stock because it has been popular and will run out. The fern folder was in for like a day or 2 and then it's sold out. So if there's an item that's out of stock, get the email notification, and then when it's come back in stock, you'll get an email saying it's back in stock, and then order it soon as you can because some of the products has run out. So a couple more things I quickly want to mention is the some of the papers have been out of stock for a while and everything is back in stock except for the scenic one. So you can have a look on like pages 63 through. So most of these are back in stock now. So I had done a paper share and I'd sent most of them out. There were 1 or 2 that I was waiting on. So I've actually got a couple of paper shares left if you want to participate. So it's $82. I may just have to adjust it slightly because I've got to work out how many sheets of that are in the paper share, but around the $82 mark plus shipping. But get in touch with me if you want to sign up for that because I've got a couple left. Now, the other thing I've been doing and sending out is the In Color Club. So I'm going to show you an In Color Club, and I've sent out 2 months already, but some of you may not have known about it, and you might have thought, well, I love all these in colors. I'd love to receive a pack each month, and I'll give you the opportunity to sign up. So basically what you get each month is an ink pad, an ink refill, half a pack of cardstock, 2 pieces of 6x12 pearlized paper, some ribbon, some color dots, some butterflies, designer series paper, and 2-tone cardstock, and then a handmade card of the month. So let me just show you that to you so you can see what it looks like. So here we've got the cardstock, which is half a pack. We've got the ink pad and the ink refill. We've got some ribbon, which I put on a little roll for you, and then embellishments. So you get your color and the butterflies and the dots. Then you also get some paper. Now this is 12 by 12 and it will be cut in half to be posted to you. So let me open it up. So this is crisp cantaloupe. So you've got the equivalent of 4 sheets of the designer series paper. So 2 stripes and 2 dots, and then fold it over. And that'll be cut in half to post it to you. Otherwise, it's like $11 to post or something. So if you want to pay extra and you want it kept 12 by 12, just let me know. But otherwise, it's cut in half. And then you also get a sheet of the shimmer paper. Can you see that shimmer? And also the 2-tone cardstock, which has got the light and the dark. Okay. So that is $85 plus shipping per month. Oh, and you also get a card of the month. So this was what I created last week, and it's part of the In Color Club for this month. So if you missed out, you didn't sign up, you can start from now. So we've already done 2 months, so you'll be starting and you still do the 5 months. So there'll be a 5-month commitment. Yours is just starting later and would go a little bit longer, but you'd still get the 5 months over time. So if you're interested in that, send me a quick message. I will set up a registration link. But I kind of thought, now we're starting to see the in colors, maybe someone who didn't sign up would actually like to benefit from this. So reach out to me if you're interested. Cool. And also reach out to me if you're interested in the designer series paper. And I've got a couple of shares left of that. All right, so thank you for joining me today. I know we were very late, technical issues, that kind of thing. Here's our card, but hopefully you've seen and learnt a few different ways that you can use your embossing folder. I've kept it monochromatic. Obviously, you know, there's other things that you can do as well, but this gives you an idea, to be able to try something different. And you don't obviously have to use in colors, but you can use colors that you like. All right, very good. Well, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for your patience. If you were watching live, thank you. I know we started later and things, but we got there at the end. If you're watching the recording, please leave comments. Let me know where you're watching from. If you've got any questions, do ask. And if you have a go at making these techniques with the cards and stuff, I'd love to see what you use. Maybe you've got a different embossing folder that you want to try these techniques with. But hopefully you'll have lots of fun giving it a try using the ink color of the cardstock, or maybe even trying some white. All right, if you need any help with ordering or crafting or anything like that, please reach out to me, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Hopefully things will flow a little bit more smoothly, and I'll be back on YouTube. All right, thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye.